Hey everybody, it's your buddy, it's your pal. I'm Karnak, and this is Star Wars Armada Explained. Thank you for joining me. So, as some people have continued to ask me, why don't you use the program that you've been using before when doing videos for like ships and stuff? Online depictions of programs that are not acceptable by Asmodee, and especially not by Atomic Mass Games. I feel it's not in good faith being a contracted somebody who's contracted by them to continue to use programs or try to promote programs such as that, and they understand that, and they aren't asking me to go back to retroactively like delete videos or change anything. But again, in good faith moving forward, I shouldn't try to promote such programs like that. But for the most part, most cars and things, we don't need that program. I'm working on a solution. I don't know when I'll have that figured out, but all things in good time, we'll get there. We're going to look at Bale Organa today, and I kind of, you'll see them there we go, that way. And Bale Organa, love the art on this card. If you see in front of the name, there's a little dot or bullet point, signifies that Bale is unique. You don't ever have one Bale Organa in your fleet. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner of the card, you'll notice that there's no icon there because commander cards don't have a commander icon there. It's on their backing. And but the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the faction symbol for the Republic. You'll see he's 28 points. What does the blue bar mean and the numbers? We'll get into that. Right now, we're going to read the card text. When a friendly ship reveals a command, you may discard up to one token of each type from this card. For each token you discard, that ship gains one additional command dial matching that token's type. Sounds pretty straightforward, but as with all things, there's some intricacies there. We'll cover this. And again, I'll cover what the blue bar means. Some of this information I'm going to be giving out. Veteran players already know some of this. You may not care, but for anyone who's watching this for the first time, I always make sure I'm explaining everything in detail, just in case that you don't know, and we want to make sure you're not missing anything. But essentially, to do a summary before we launch into interactions is, how does this card work? Well, when your ship, we'll say this blue one here is the ship dial. We'll say when the ship reveals its command dial, let's say it has a concentrate fire command, it can go, I see Bale has some command tokens on this card, and I'm going to discard a navigate token off this card to now pick up a command dial, turn that command to a navigation command, and then say, aha, I am now gaining a command dial with a navigation command, and my ship is now able to resolve a concentrate fire command and a navigate command. Also, continue along with the example, maybe you want all the things, so you'll also discard a repair token off of there, and you'll also get a command dial, and you pick it up and you turn it to repair command, and you show that and say, okay, now I got 3 dials. Ooh, look at all the commands my ship gets to do. I get to do navigate, repair, concentrate fire, or it could be a squadron command. So, your ship essentially gets to do just tons of cool stuff. But of course, you have reduced your token count from Bale's card if you get rid of 2 tokens from 5 to 3. But essentially, in a nutshell, that's Bale. Bale is giving you the flexibility that at the time and place wherein you need it in your fleet, a ship is able to essentially resolve up to 3 command dials worth of commands, as long as Bale has the tokens to provide that. And it's just flexibility. It's nice. It's convenient. It allows you to dial in like essentially squadron commands, and anytime your ship needs to navigate, boom, you just get it, and then you don't have to worry about having that available. And so it's nice. It's just nice things. And for the point cost, I think it's very reasonable. I know some players are like, well, it's not Thrawn. I just can't get any command I want. And it's like, that's true, but knowing that you can get these commands at any time for a ship without having to need it be fleet wide, because sometimes with Thrawn, you always run into the issue of like, oh, I'm resolving this command that the ship, it can't do anything with it, so therefore I token it, and then it still doesn't do anything with it, and I don't know. I like the flexibility of Bale. Not that I'm much of a Republic player. I suck with Republic, but there's a lot of people who love Bale for the flexibility. All right, I meandered a little bit. Let's get into what does interactions mean. So let's start with the blue bar here. So the blue bar signifies that when this ship deploys during deployment, that's when this card will gain 5 tokens of either navigation or repair placed on the upgrade card. Yes, this is open information. It is not hidden information. Some players are like, oh, if I just pick up my tokens and I hide them under a piece of paper under there, they can't see it. And unfortunately, that's not the case. This is not hidden information. You don't have to tell your opponent, be like, look, this is what I'm getting. I'm placing all these tokens on this card. You don't have to do that. But if your opponent asks you, hey, what did you place on your upgrade card for Bail? You have to tell them. That is open information. That is not hidden information. But again, you don't have to go out of your way to inform them what tokens you placed on the card. But again, to be clear, when do you place tokens on the card? It is during deployment. As soon as you take the ship this card is equipped to and place it on the table and it's deployed, that is when you gain those tokens. You don't gain them at any other time. Some players have misinformation in terms of, they play like hyperspace assault, where they'll stick Bale in hyperspace where he's set aside, and then it's like round 2 or 3 and they bring him out of hyperspace and they're like, and then I gain all of his tokens and then I do his commands. And unfortunately, that's not how that works, because specifically the timing, unless it's otherwise specifically defined on the upgrade card, the timing of when you gain these tokens, or if they're command dials on these cards, the blue bar, it is only during the deploy ship step of setup, which is during deployment. So again, the part of, why I'm stating that is because if your opponent doesn't want to be nice, if you forget to do this and it's the middle of round 2 and you go, oh no, I forgot to give my commander the tokens to give the command dials, they can be like, sorry man, that's missed opportunity. Sucks for you, and that's their legal right. They can absolutely do that in a tournament setting. Obviously, in casual games, people forget stuff all the time. Casual is casual, fly casual. I'm just letting you know what can happen. So don't forget your abilities. Okay, we're going to be going over the KARM here because there's just so much. Oh right, so I think I mentioned this before, or maybe not, but for Bail Organa, a lot of Grand Admiral Thrawn's FAQ is precedent and does apply to Bail Organa, specifically when it comes to terms of when you reveal commands and raid tokens. So one important distinction I want to make is that when a ship reveals its command dial, that is the only dial it is technically revealing. Any command dials that it gets otherwise, the term is called gained. So you reveal your ship's command dial, that is your reveal dial. Any other tokens that you get are gained command dials. You can't use gain command dials for certain things in certain situations, most specifically raid. So for raid, the only time you can get rid of raid tokens as defined in RRNG is that you can only do it when you reveal a command, and it needs to be that ship's command dial that you then choose to discard to clear all raid tokens, or you can discard a single raid token with a matching command token. That's the only time you can get rid of raid. Some people were again confused about how the card works. They were taking a Bail dial and using that to clear all the raid, which completely breaks Dooku. It makes Dooku worthless, right? So that's not how that works. I mean, you can take your ship's revealed dial and chuck it and clear all the raid, and then get your Bail your Bail command dials. But again, I have to be specific about that because we want to make sure that we're playing the game correctly. Another thing you can do again with Bail Organa is you could get a dial, like say your opponent gave you a raid navigate, and you reveal a navigate command dial, but you can still get Bail to give you a navigate command dial. You can take the Bail navigate command dial, turn that into a navigate token to then clear the raid navigate, so that you can actually then use your raid navigation command dial through your ship. Or again, toss the dial, resolve the Bail command dial. There's multiple different ways. There's lots of different methods. I'm giving you examples and show that there's lots of ways to defeat raid. Again, so we've covered the raid aspect. We've covered the set-aside aspect. Okay, if you have additional information or questions, you can always ask here. The rules forum is coming. We're hard at work at it. I've been working like nonstop on it. Lots of front-end stuff. Lots of questions we're trying to address to the best of our ability. So please be patient with us. Hopefully we'll have a lot of answers for you. And if we don't have your answer, you can always post and ask when the rules forum is released. We're hoping for early July. All right, let's move on. Let's get on past some of these, like we're not even into the card and we're like getting into all this other stuff. Okay. One thing again for how commands resolve. And again, this is another thing, just we have a lot of new players coming in. They don't quite understand how commands resolve. Some players are like, oh, if I have a navigate command, and if I get a navigate command from Bale, I can resolve 2 navigate command dials at the same time. And again, per the rules, the only way you can resolve commands is by one of 3 methods. Either as a dial, as a token, or as a dial and token spent together. That's the only way you can spend to resolve a command. You can never resolve a command twice. You can't spend dial and dial. You can't spend token and token. You can only do a token or a dial and token together. Okay, and again, I've got listed out there. All right. Some people had questions about Crew Panic damage card. Does this affect Bail Organa's gain dials? No. Again, Crew Panic only affects the ship dial that is revealed, not the dials that are gained by Bail Organa's effect. And in terms of what other officers that require the ship's reveal dial only works at the ship's revealed dial and not Bail's gain dial, I have a list there of officers and examples. I have the FAQ. It's in RNG. Specifically, things like Clone Navigation Officer or Navigation Officer, etc. They only work with a ship's reveal dial. Again, not any of the gain dials that you have. The final part I want to touch on is in regards to CommsNet. Again, when a ship reveals its command dial, it can also gain Bail Organa dials at the same time. You still have to declare if you're using these dials or gaining them as tokens. If your ship is only like a command 1 ship, again, you just can't like stack up a bunch of tokens and then try to CommsNet them all out at the same time, because again, for CommsNet specifically, it is spelled out that it is after the reveal command dial step is when you can resolve CommsNet. So you can't like take your ship dial, turn in a token, send that out of CommsNet, get a Bail dial, turn in a token, send out of CommsNet. Again, that's you're resolving that effect multiple times and out of sequence. So again, you can only essentially send 1 command token if it's command 1 ship. If it's command 2 ship, again, you can, if you, in the after command dial step, again, you can select a token to CommsNet away. All right. Oof, I know, lots of talking already. That's Bail. It's just like, politicians always have to talk, so much talking. So again, we've established for Bail that you get your tokens placed on that card when you deploy. It can be 5 navigation tokens. It can be 5 repair tokens. It can be any mix of the 2. A lot of players like to do like 2 navigates and 3 repairs or vice versa. Again, flexibility. So again, in terms of timings, when a friendly ship reveals a command, so when you do reveal your ship command is when you decide when you're going to take tokens off. Again, you can only discard 1 token per type. So for a maximum of essentially 2. And again, when you discard those tokens, that ship will gain command dials matching that token's type. And that's Bail. I mean, there's nothing else crazy going on with Bail. I know it's a lot of just intricate interactions. Again, if you still have questions about these, hit me up in the comments. Once we get the rules forum up officially, I'll be directing you there. You can find me on the Discord. But for the most part, Bail, very newbie friendly, offers a lot of flexibility. I like Bail, even though I'm not a Republic player. In terms of like if you're introducing somebody to the game, start them with Bail. Give them that flexibility. Like if you're trying to get somebody sucked in, show them how powerful Bail can be when like a Venator or an Acclimator is revealing a squadron command. They're chucking all these squadrons out, and now they're repairing, and now they're navigating. You can show them like cool things about the game that otherwise some other commanders you really can't quite get that cool feeling from. I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi is neat, and like Luminai is neat, and other commanders are neat, but that feeling of just like, whoa, I just did all this stuff, and that feels great. Like you can only get that with Bale, and so this is definitely a great commander to introduce new players to. This the reason why it's in the core set. I feel like. Is because it's so friendly to new players and encourages new players to get into the game. Very easy to build fleets for. All right, I've yacked on long enough. You all are fantastic. I appreciate it. And again, thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.